Welcome back everyone to Dr. Christy Cares. I'm Dr. Christy Matuziak, and today I'm going to talk with you about skin health. Now, there are a lot of different skin conditions out there. For the purposes of this video, the main ones that I'm going to address are things like acne, eczema, psoriasis, things like this, dermatitis, things along those lines, okay? In my experience, 90% of skin issues are diet related. Now, there's a lot of different layers that we can get into with these things. However, we're actually going to go into most of them. That said, 90% of them are really easy and within your control. So those are what we're going to address here. Number one is hydration. If you don't have enough water in your body, your skin's going to literally get dried out and leave you more vulnerable to infections and irritations in our environment. So number one, keep hydrated. Number two is vitamin C. Vitamin C is incredibly important, not only for immune health, but also for our skin health. It helps increase our collagen, allows our capillaries to not be as fragile so we don't get bruised every time we bump into a wall, things along these lines. So the vitamin C is really important to keep our skin healthy and vibrant and looking young. Number three is protein. Sounds really easy, but if we're not having enough protein sources, our protein, the amino acids in the protein that we consume ends up creating different layers of skin and different organs. Remember, our skin is the largest organ, and so amino acids make up all of these things that are created as our organs. So please don't forget about protein. Number four is hormones. Hormones, absolutely, especially when we're talking about things like acne, they can be hormonally related in women when they're cycling. Okay, so we need to think about how these things play into each other. And lastly, are allergies. So allergies can come in the form of seasonal, environmental allergies, but they can also come in the form of food allergies, which we'll talk about that a bit more later on. So let's talk about something else here. Liver toxicity and adrenals are pretty much the two main organs that are responsible for having you have an allergy response. Our liver is either overloaded and can no longer process through what's incidental, pollen or other issues, because it's so focused on other stuff that's toxic that you're consuming through your diet or other environmental pollutions. If that ends up happening, your liver can't process anything else, and if it's overwhelmed, you have these symptoms such as dermatitis, eczema, and acne. Otherwise, we're left with adrenals. Our adrenal glands also are incredibly important, and we've talked about this at length, but they are responsible for handling all the stress in our lives, no matter where it comes from. Stress also includes things like allergies or things that we're eating that our body doesn't agree with. So as far as allergies and sensitivities are concerned, the things that are most common in my experience for skin-related issues are things like wheat or gluten, things like corn, and dairy. There's definitely a handful more, but those are the big three that in my experience are really influential when coming from a skin health issue. So if you have eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, acne, number one is take those three things out of your diet: corn, wheat, and dairy. Those are the big three that I would start with, and then we can go back and see if there's anything else going on that might be more specific to you. That's all I have for you right now. Next week, we're going to actually specifically get into this topic of foods that are histamine stimulatory or sensitive allergen type foods for you, and how we can go through this process. So again, if you like this video, please comment, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Next week, like I said, we'll talk about more allergen sensitivity foods. Looking really forward to that with you. So until then, Dr. Christy Matuziak here with Dr. Christy Cares, telling you have a fantastic day and a healthy life.